Hey, we're back at Rootstech 2017. This is Bernice Bennett, and I am just so excited to interview Kenyatta Berry. Welcome, Kenyatta.
Thank you. I'm
Well,
happy to be here.
well, Kenyatta, I know everyone wants to know what motivated you to get involved in genealogy.
Well, I started doing genealogy when I was in law school, and I really was tired of reading books around torts and contract law. So I wanted to take a break. And at the time, I was dating someone whose family, they were prominent African Americans in Atlanta and Augusta
Mm-hmm.
and other southern cities, major cities.
Mm-hmm.
And he had an unusual middle name, Dwelly, Dwelle, and that Dwelle name was the last name of his second great grandfather. So I started to look up his family and then realized that there was a ton of information about them. They had biographical entries, they were in Who's Who, of Negroes at the
Oh,
time.
wow. Yeah.
And I found a ton of information. So I thought, well, this is really easy because I just can go to the library at the State Library of Michigan and find this information. And so that really gave me the genealogy bug. But I quickly realized in doing my own family, it wasn't that easy. And being farmers and former slaves in Virginia, the information was a little bit more difficult
Mhm.
to find out. So that led me down the path on genealogy.
So, how long have you been involved in genealogical research?
About 20 years, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
about
a long
20. Yeah,
time.
long time, a long time.
Okay, so what is the most exciting thing that you have discovered about your family?
The most exciting thing. There's a lot, but I'll start with the migration of my maternal ancestors.
Hmm.
So my grandmother was born in Detroit.
Hmm.
Her mother, my great grandmother, was born in upstate New York, in a little town called York near Livingston County. So we're
Uh-huh.
talking near the Rochester area,
Hmm.
hotbed of abolitionist movement. Well, her family was from a small county in Virginia called Culpeper County. Okay. Now, being from
Okay.
Culpeper County, Virginia, I found that a number of African Americans after the Civil War moved to upstate New York. So there's this huge community there that I'm related to.
Hmm.
Now, what makes it fascinating is that a lot of them still live there today, and they have since spread out to the Rochester and Buffalo area. And I got to meet some of my second cousins 2 times removed last year who had lost connections with the Detroit side of the family. So, because of that, everyone's now coming back together.
Oh, that's so exciting. It's just wonderful when you can do genealogy and then turn around and connect with the living,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is just wonderful. So you're hosting one of the hosts of the Genealogy Roadshow. So
hmm
tell me, what's the most exciting thing that you've done as a host on the Genealogy Roadshow?
I would say probably the most memorable. There's excitement in being a host every day because there's always something that goes on.
Certainly, yes.
And what's exciting in general is to help people.
Mhm.
And, I think I really enjoy the interaction we have and the
Mhm.
reaction that they have as well.
Mhm.
Um, but the most memorable story for me would be the woman Gail Lukasik, whose mother passed for white. She's from New Orleans,
Yes.
season two, from
Mhm.
New Orleans, and her mom moved to Ohio, and Gail had no idea. She'd done some research kind of prior to coming to Genealogy Roadshow,
Mhm.
kind of found that information out, but her mother, and confronted her mother about it. And her mother told her not to say anything until she had passed on.
Okay.
So Gail held on to that secret until she came to Genealogy Roadshow.
Is that right?
Yes,
That was the first time it was actually revealed publicly.
yes, yes. So that was frightening for me and for her. So we were both in the
Yeah.
same situation because she's revealing this on national television. Her friends don't know, maybe some of her close friends.
Mhm.
You know, she's not, her family knows immediate, but
Mhm.
this whole network of people, her fans, she's a writer. They didn't know any of this information.
Mhm.
And she revealed it and shared that experience with me. So that was very moving for me.
What a moving experience indeed. So, what's the future for you and genealogy, and Hannah, where you going with your research?
So the future for me in genealogy, while I am very focused, as most folks know, on slave ancestral research. It's a
Okay.
big area for me. And right now I'm trying to make it easier for African Americans to find their enslaved ancestors. And one of the things I'm doing in that way is I'm actually studying the Atlantic slave trade by looking at the actual companies that took slaves from Africa to North America, because that number's less than a half a million. So if
Mhm.
I focus on those companies, look at the ship manifests or the diaries or anything that they have, I can create a picture of what ports they used in the US and where those slaves came from. So as we do DNA, if we can find a match from a
Connect
certain
those
areas,
dots.
we can connect
Yes.
those dots,
Okay.
and that
Yeah.
starts to get us a little bit closer to finding our enslaved ancestors, beyond just the first owner or enslaver.
Well, Kenyatta, that's really exciting. And I look forward to just seeing your research. I look forward to interviewing you on Blog Talk Radio
Yes,
so that you can tell everyone what you're doing and maybe others will kind of join in with you.
I hope so.
So thank you so much for just sitting down and chatting with me at Roots Tech 2016. Thank you.
Thank you.